Okay, in this video, I'd like to introduce Kiosk Mode, which is an exciting new feature. Let's go back to our shift editor. So we have a shift this afternoon, dog walking, as a test shift to be able to demonstrate Kiosk Mode. Kiosk Mode could be most effective, for example, a local humane society where many volunteers come to one site, or other clients use it at an event over a weekend, say for instance Ribfest, where a lot of volunteers come to a particular site, in this case remotely. So as long as there's a device, and in this case many clients are using something like an iPad, where they can connect it to Wi-Fi or to some kind of tethering device to the internet. So it can be used in a remote location, and where there are many volunteers, not necessarily with a smartphone. If they have them, of course, they can log in with that as well. So we know that we've got a shift coming up, and at the very bottom, remember, we're an organization. So we see the check-in, check-out menu item on the bottom left. And the first box is the Kiosk Administration box, is the Kiosk Mode is enabled or disabled. So please make sure that's checked if you'd like to enable Kiosk Mode. Now, the Kiosk Unlock QuickPIN is important. That's the number the organization uses to be able to activate and open the portal. In other words, people could visit this site, but if they don't know the code, they won't be able to open it for volunteers to use. The minimum PIN length is organization-wide. All volunteers will have a PIN length, in this case, of 4 numbers. So here's the address that we can use from any device on the internet to be able to set up the portal for access by volunteers. So let's go back and check the shift for a minute. In this particular case, there are 2 workers that will be logging in. The shift is from 1 o'clock to 2:30. And let's visit Barney's volunteer profile to be able to find his QuickPIN number. So we can see that his QuickPIN number is 9572. So he'll need that PIN number to be able to log into the kiosk and check in and check out of his shift. So let's go back and open the kiosk. So if we highlight this and we go, so now this is the site itself, it's the portal. But the first thing is that the organization must unlock it. And we know that that unlock code is 694. So let's do that. Now, we know that we're in the right place because Welcome to Community Care Bedrock is there, and our logo is there as well. And now it's ready for volunteers. So what we can do is, knowing that the PIN for one of our volunteers, for Barney to log into his upcoming shift, all he needs to do is enter that PIN number, 9572. Now, are you Barney Rubble? There's, of course, the potential for someone to mis-enter their key. So let's go ahead and click on yes. And we can see dog walking shift from 1 to 2:30. And if Barney would like to, he can now check in and get credit for having arrived for that shift. Now, the next step would be for him to check out, and he'll do that after the shift. Notice, and I'll just wait, that it automatically logs out after 10 seconds. So what that means is the next volunteer waiting in line to log in is then ready to enter their QuickPIN. So it's excellent functionality for a particular site where many volunteers come to that location. Maybe it's easier for volunteers to have a 4-digit QuickPIN instead of having to log in on their device. Of course, that functionality still exists. They can log in remotely through the app on their phone, of course, if they'd like to. But this is called Kiosk Mode. And when it's set up on a tablet, particularly in our testing with the iPad, is by enabling some functionality in the iPad, we can actually lock it so that volunteers can't go anywhere except the kiosk. In other words, no one can play games or watch YouTube videos. So there's real power for the organization knowing that they have very careful control over the site. So if you have any questions about Kiosk Mode, please write them below.